folks, yesterday I provided everyone with my actual scalp levels video that I provide for our members. There's a link to that video at the end of this video. And in that video, on the New Zealand US dollar pair, I noted a very strong level of expected resistance. All right, and so in today's video, I'll first play a very short clip of what I said, and then I'll show you exactly how to trade that level with very small pip risk. Okay, this trade's actually had a 4-to-1 reward risk so far coming into the London close today, which is December the 9th. Please hit the like button if you like this kind of video, and be sure to click the subscribe button in the bottom right corner of the video. And also, if you click the little bell, then you'll be notified whenever we put out a new video. Alrighty, let's have a listen. Okay, so with this New Zealand US dollar pair, I want you to first listen to what I had to say in the previous video, and check that out, and then I'll come back and we'll have a look and see what's gone on since then. Okay, and this next level is right here. This level right here, very, very strong, and that's where we're heading. Okay, so what did I say? Well, I was talking about if you look at this pair, this is in a big downtrend, right? I mean, I think most people can see that. And we have these little rallies along the way. That's the way price moves. Here's the weekly chart on the upper left, straight down. So you got to have a short bias until price proves otherwise. And right now, it's just going down. Yes, we've hit some support, but we rally up to these levels of resistance. That's where we're really interested. This level that I pointed out here, that's a monster level. That's really, really strong. And you can see the reaction around it when price hit it. It didn't know what to do. Finally, it breaks below. It comes back up for a retest. This is where I'm very interested in selling. Now, we have different ways of selling. We could sell using a pattern. And we just have a few patterns. I mean, it's not like you have to learn a ton of patterns to trade this way, because it's the very same thing that we do with long-term trading, with the Darko goes over. No difference. And in a case like this, what we do is we look at these levels. We go to our, we want to see, is this a level on our 4-hour chart as well? So here's that daily level in the upper right that I was talking about. Let's see, let's get the number there exactly. The number's 68.23. Okay, 68.23 basically. If you go to the 4-hour chart, is it a decent level on the 4-hour? It's the same level right here. That's when price dropped below this level, below it, and came back, that's been a really good level of resistance there, right? It comes back and hits it again. So now at this point, you have to decide. In fact, not at this point, you should know before you take this trade what you're going to do before price gets there. That's called having a trading plan. If you don't know, don't trade. You're just throwing money away if you don't have a plan to do this. Now, in this case, what I really like, the kind of trade I prefer on a trade like this, because we're trading with all of the trends, it's heading down. I mean, just look at the 4-hour chart, lower highs and lower lows. Advanced pullbacks back here, but never even made it. But this is a very good level to take a trade, because if you go down to our 15-minute chart, which is our entry time frame, if I'm going to sell it, and by the way, it hit it to the pip, which is pretty lucky. It doesn't always happen that way. I wish it did, but it does sometimes. It hit it to the pip, and look at this move down. If I look left, okay, so as price is rallying up, I know this is a level I'm very interested in trading at. If I look left, okay, so scroll out and look left, what's back here? So we have this now. What I'm talking about now is the stop loss. How do we control the risk on this trade? Well, there's a couple ways I like to use. One of them is a volatility stop, which is a 5-day average daily range, and I find it useful. What I prefer, the best thing is to look for a natural stop that's in alignment with the volatility stop. So in this case, I'm looking for about an 11 pip risk. That's my volatility stop. That's all I want to risk on this trade, 11 pips. Okay. If I look left, see this spike over here? This is what's called a natural stop. It's where price stopped and went down. We didn't determine it. The market determined this. This is a market-driven top in the market. For whatever reason, it stopped going down. It's an important level. I want my stop to be just above there. Well, my volatility stop is 11 pips, and this actually puts it just above this natural stop. I really, really like that, because that's just a a nice, a pretty good low risk look at this trade. When I say low risk, account risk, we always recommend 0.5% of your account to risk. You can do whatever you want. Everything's about keeping your risk well under control, not betting the farm, and that kind of thing. Well, you can see what happened. It hit it to the pip, and then down it went. Now we're into what? We're into the trade management game. Now we have a whole new conversation, because trade management is an individual thing. People have different risk tolerances. They get up 5 pips and they're shaking and they're all nervous. You have to get that part figured out. And again, trade management, it's a whole different subject. I won't get into it in too much detail here, but it's got to be, you got to have a trade management plan in place before you take trades. Like, know what you're going to do. Don't try to do it on the fly. You're just going to go crazy doing that, and sometimes you'll be right and sometimes you'll be wrong, and you won't know what to do, and you're not always going to be right no matter what you do. Okay, so if you sell it here, you have to look for logical places to take profit. If you sold it at 68.23 and you got down to here, that's a 2-to-1 reward risk trade in a pretty short period of time. 2-to-1. That's not bad. You could look for these other levels here, these other significant levels, and on both your entry time frame and on your 4-hour chart, your next higher time frame, and then so on the way down. This has actually been up so far. It's actually been up about 4-to-1 reward risk. Well, that's hindsight. You didn't know that when it's coming down here, did you? So that's why you have to say to yourself, well, I'm taking a trade, I'm taking a profit, right here, and I'll be happy with that. That's fine. Or you say, well, you can use a Fibonacci extension or external retracement. In this case, we have a move from here up to here. These provide very objective places as well, and especially if you ever look at them and they match up with a support resistance level, it's even better. But in this case, at least it gives you a target, either here or here. You can do it that way, right? And you can see that those actually both got hit in this case. The other thing you can do is, I said I wasn't going to talk a lot about trade management, and here I go. But I think it's such an important topic because it's so critical to your trading. Is you can say, well, this is a big downtrend, right? And I'm going to go for the next level down. The one thing I would be cautious with is on this trade is that we are at weekly and daily support. And I don't even mind this, and I know this is scalping. Somebody's going to roll their eyes up when I say this, but I even look at a monthly chart and say, is there any reason to think we might be bouncing here? Look at this. This is like pretty strong levels, and that's what we hit. So I'm, you can. This is a nice thing about scalping. You can take some really nice reward risk trades, and even before these longer term trades take off. And this is Darko's domain now. He'll be watching for longer term trades on situations like this. But in any event, coming down like this, and you could say, well, I'm gonna hold it down to the next daily level down, because that's the way it's moving. It's a negative pair. It's going down. Gets down to here. You've got about an 8-to-1 reward risk trade if you get down to here. That's the power of scalping, and they don't always work that way. You're not always going to get those kind of moves. That's absolutely for sure. But by carefully managing your trade, and again, there's more ways to manage it than what I've just talked about. But I cover all these for our members, and whatever they have questions about how they want to manage a trade, we go over it. But it's really important to have something in place. Anyway, I'll cap it at that, because I think you get the idea. We look at these levels in advance, not after the fact, so we know what we're going to be looking to do. And if I want to take a first touch back like that, I have a very small stop loss, because I have a natural stop and a volatility stop that's very small. If you're looking for a pattern instead, which is absolutely fine, there's no trade here, because it hit this level and went straight down. And you never know. But don't start changing your whole game plan and trading plan because of one trade. Like, you got to have something and be consistent with it and be okay with it, because you're not going to get them all. But you don't need many of these to have a pretty good week and month of trading. In fact, last week might have been the week before, one of our members, who's a very, very good trader, he's a stage 4 trader, on just trading the euro pound alone, had a 10-to-1 reward risk week of trading. So yeah, pretty cool. And that's the kind of potential that's in these kind of situations. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. I hope that all helps, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. So as you can see, having these support resistance levels noted ahead of time can be very profitable. And better yet, you can learn to find these levels yourself. That's what we teach. And this is ultimately what you want to do in order to become an independent trader. And that's exactly what our goal is with our members. Okay, thanks again, everyone. And remember to hit the like button. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel. Have a great weekend. Take care.